You're watching the TC MMA podcast.
We're just going to jump around a little bit because there's been 2 fights already taken off this card. So the whole main card is going to be shuffled around anyway. So let's just get the one I like next. And that's Gerald Meerschaert versus Reinier de Ridder. Big middleweight fight. Big guys. Gerald Meerschaert is something like 36-17. So he wins a lot, but he's lost a lot. To me, he's a very tough fighter. But de Ridder's on the come up. So we'll see which way it goes. In the middleweight division at UFC Vegas 100, you got veteran, big-time veteran, Gerald Meerschaert takes on newcomer making his UFC debut, Reinier de Ridder. So Meerschaert, 37-17, he's got 54 professional fights. De Ridder has 19, he's 17-2, but making his UFC debut. De Ridder's 2 inches taller at 6'3", he's 34, Meerschaert's 36. De Ridder, 1 inch reach advantage, 79-78. Now Meerschaert fights left-handed, lands 3.1 significant strikes per minute, and lands like 2 takedowns over the course of 3 rounds. Meerschaert, 34% takedown defense, that's a problem. But he won the last 2 fights by submission, so if he goes to the ground, he's okay, right? Beating Shabazian by submission, submitting Brian Barberena. So, he's got some momentum right now. But De Ridder, in his 17 wins, has 11 submissions. So he's good on the ground. Won 4 by KO. He was also KO'd twice in 2 of the last 3 fights. But both of those were to the same opponent, Anatoly Malikin, right? He KO'd him twice. And one, he was just forced to give up. But in his last fight, he did win by TKO at UAE Warriors. So here's the deal. I like the fact that De Ridder can submit opponents and Gerald Meerschaert has weak takedown defense. But Meerschaert is ever the veteran. He has shown if the fight goes to the ground, he can find ways to submit you. So that's where the game is going to be played, on the ground. We really don't know how good De Ridder is on the ground, but Meerschaert's going to have no problem going there. And that's where the fight's going to play out. And I got no choice but to go with the UFC veteran. I mean, Gerald Meerschaert is a pretty good fighter. Pretty good fighter. And he's been around a while, and he's won more fights than he's lost in the UFC. Not in UAE Warriors, not in one championship, none of that. But he's won a lot of fights in the UFC. So I have no choice but to go with him here. And I believe he's going to get the finish by submission in round 2. That's my opinion. But even if it goes to a decision, he's going to win 2 rounds out of 3 by controlling his opponent to move to 38-17 here in the middleweight division, UFC Vegas 100. And this is one guy I tend to believe in, especially fights like this. I mean, when he fought Hamza, they made him sound like he was terrible. He lost in 17 seconds. He's a nobody. I'm like, no, Hamza is just that good. I mean, Gerald Meerschaert is a good fighter, and he showed it after that fight, winning several fights after the fact, right? He's so terrible, but he comes back and he wins, like, I want to say 4 of the next 5. Maybe I'm confusing fighters, but he definitely won more fights than he lost over the next 4 or 5 after the Hamza fight. So, this guy is definitely a problem. He's not easy to beat. He's definitely not easy to beat. And we'll take him, obviously, to win that one.
He's gon' fight, he's gon' fight. Hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fight of call, UFC at its height. Bringing that thunder with all his might. Saying, step up, wanna fight? Hold up, think twice. Gladiator, assassin, reckless, no abandon. Walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass.